What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Down Once More. I'm your host, Matt, and I am joined once again this week by Sage. So, Sage, welcome back to the pod, second guest appearance. So, I did tell Sage because last episode, I didn't know that she had a laptop from like 2000. And so if you're watching on YouTube, it did look like Sage was recording from a potato. So I messaged her when I asked her to come on again this time. I'm like, hey, I have an old, like, not an old webcam, but I have an extra webcam that's just sitting in my closet. Do you want to use that? And she said, yeah, absolutely. And so I said, okay, I'll get it to you. Let meet. I'm now making it sound more sketchy than it was. But I'm like, hey, meet at the old office.
Okay, I'll get it then.
Because we used to work together. And so I said, just if you want to meet there when I'm at work, hand it off before recording. And so we did that, and she like texted me. She's like, I'm outside, which also makes it seem more sketchy. And so I brought it out, and of course it's in like a felt baggie, so it also looks sketchy that way too. And so just walk out and hand it off to her. And I offered, because I'm like, I feel like you have to, like, did you want to come in, say hi to people? Because even though she left on really poor terms, some people I'm kidding.
That's crazy.
No, she was marked as rehirable.
Felt goodbyes when I left. Many very sweet sentiments. I don't know what you're talking about, and many new Facebook friends. So it was not bad terms at all. But I thought I did not want to come. I said, well, first of all, I was running around. I needed to get to a work dinner, but I was like, you know what? It's okay. I'm gonna head out, because I was saying that it felt like when people go back to their high school after they've graduated and they just have to talk to their favorite teachers and make a big deal about it and interrupt all the classes. And I don't know, it also makes it feel like your old work is like a zoo. You know, you're just looking at everybody else when they have to work. I think that's a little rude, probably. But not to say anything bad. Everybody there still very, very nice. Very, very good. But
you probably would have been stuck there for like half an hour, especially if you would have seen a certain someone. You would not have been able to get out of there before your dinner.
I was like, that would be so sweet. But no, there's no short conversations at the work.
No,
that's how it goes.
There are not,
and that's a good thing and a bad thing. But no.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I used to do with my my job from like college. I was friends with people there, and so then when I left, went to another one, I still, on the night my old manager was the closing one, pop in, visit with people, and then it does, you do feel a little bit like a dick, but I did it anyways. So
just gotta rub it in the face.
Yes. Now, you did, before we recorded, you started to ask me a musical question. I said, no, save it for the pod, because we cannot have conversations unless it's on the podcast.
No, we don't talk unless we're on this podcast. We don't speak.
And that's how Rayleigh and I's relationship was for the first year and a half of the podcast. We only talk on the podcast.
Friends.
That's right.
That's it.
That's why those are so off the rails and random. But yes. So what was your question?
We were discussing your card game, and one of the cards was talking about High School Musical, and I wanted to know your opinion on it. I don't think I've watched it in years, but I would still probably have a high rating of it. I feel like just growing up with it, it was fun, but your face is not saying the same.
No, I enjoy High School Musical. So when it came out, I was in high school, and I had the Justin Bieber hair, aka the Troy Bolton hair, at the time, and I was on a basketball team where our jerseys were red and white. Yes, homeschoolers do play basketball still. So no, I enjoyed High School Musical. I only saw the first two. I didn't see the third one. Or was there a fourth one, or just three?
I don't know.
I only saw the first two.
The first two were definitely the best. I think the second one was kind of better, which doesn't happen often, but that one was fun.
No, that's fair. It's got bet on it, and I got to go my own way. Like those songs are bangers.
Those
Or
are
they still are.
fabulous.
They're on my musical favorites playlist. Both of those songs from High School Musical 2. They're on the rotation. And I did watch the first couple seasons of High School Musical, the series.
I never saw it, never did, but I am a big fan of Olivia Rodrigo, so that should
that's where
count for something.
Yes.
That's
It
where she got
had
her
some
start.
catchy original songs in the first and second season. Mainly the first one felt like it went off. Like I think the third season, I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely not the target audience for this. Like it was kind of clear. I'm like, as like late 20s, that this High School Musical, the series, is not for me. But there were some clever tongue-in-cheek ones, and like I said, some solid original songs. Olivia Rodrigo was writing original music for it, and they were good. So you should check it out if you're an Olivia Rodrigo fan and a High School Musical fan. That's like
maybe I would love it.
match made in heaven for you.
Maybe.
So
it's on my list now.
Okay. Add it. You have a very long list of things.
The list is too long. I don't sit down to watch anything. I'm horrible.
Well,
I listened to the podcast and I skipped the part where you review Stage Fright so that I could watch it. I did, I listened to the first part, I listened to the traffic, I listened to all that, and then I went to the curtain call so that I was like, and then I heard my own name and I went, wow.
Yeah. You're famous now.
I felt special.
You had to change all your accounts to private, and that's when the stalkers will get you if you don't.
Yeah.
We don't have stalkers. We've got like 60 Instagram followers. You are safe.
But an excellent segue to the fact that last night my parents had messaged me to ask how to find the podcast that I was on. And the way that my mother asked, she was like, so I looked up your full government name, looked up your name, and I couldn't find anything. And I was like, yeah, so that's not what it's going to be under. That's not how you're going to find it, but I will tell you what it's called. And I was like, don't send this to like my family though, please. She was like, well, me and your dad were just going to watch. I was like, don't like make grandma sit down and watch this, because it feels like something they would try. They'd be like, wow, look at this. Look what's saying.
Yeah, well,
no, she doesn't need to see that.
The last episode, completely safe for grandparents, very family friendly. Not all of my episodes are. I behave myself, but there's some that the topics will get a little off the rails. And some like I do not tell my family, like my parents have asked, I'm like, I don't think you would like it. So
do they know that you have a podcast, or do they just they know, but you go, don't watch. Do you think
I'm like, it may not be for you. On some of it, some different tastes. When especially once Brad's on, we both go like we'll feed off each other and go off the rails. And so I'm like, there's some things like better to maybe leave that segment unexplored. And I mean, if my family members listen to this, they already know. Like, I think it's probably some that do. My family's very judgy, and so I'm like, so you can listen, but that's different. This is my not full government name. This is just first name persona. That's different. This is different Matt. So, but that's not what we're talking about on this week's podcast. This week's podcast,
not even close.
We are doing, I've alluded to it in previous episodes, but we are going to do a draft of kind of convoluted rules. But essentially, it is what roles in musicals would you want? And we are saying not like, do you think you could crush now? But if you were given that role, you would magically have all the abilities and characteristics needed to pull off that role. So that is what we are doing a draft of. So you would have the vocal talent, you would have the dance abilities, whatever it may be. So like, if you knew you would crush it, what are the roles in musicals you would want to get? I'm like, do I want this to be the last episode of the podcast and only choose roles portrayed by minorities? I chose no. I'm not trying to get canceled tonight. So I'm being I'm being good with my list. Okay, I'm interrupting the podcast. This is Matt. I'm recording this as I'm editing, and I don't like doing it, but I almost cut out that bad joke bit that I put in there because if you're watching on YouTube, you notice Sage, no reaction whatsoever. So when we were done recording, I thought about it and went to bed. I'm like, I think I need to cut that out. I think that joke was bad, maybe a little bit in poor taste. And Sage just didn't laugh, didn't appreciate it. I need to cut it out. So I texted her and I said, hey, so that joke, I want your opinion. Bad, cut it out. And she's like, oh my God, no, I couldn't hear you. My earbuds were shit. And I was only picking up about every like fourth word that you said. I missed the majority of things that you said. So during that entire episode, I was just trying to piece together what you were saying. And that's why I misheard so many things. And I'm like, well, you should have said that on the podcast one. That would have been funny. So now I am saying it on the podcast. So I decided to leave it in, even though it wasn't the best joke. No. And did I do that? No. So there's your disclaimer. If you're about to shut off that episode because you were so angry and you think I'm about to do some cultural appropriation and racist shit with my draft, I don't do that. So keep listening. Forgive my poor joke. And this is what you get with the podcast. You get honesty and transparency and ownership because I don't edit anything out and I leave it all in here. And so this is the long-winded explanation so that Sage said she would have laughed if she heard it. So joke, kind of funny. And so it's left in here, and that's the disclaimer. So if you're watching on YouTube, try to pick up how often Sage is trying to guess what I'm saying and read my lips. So now back to the episode. But I will, as the guest, I will let you go first again.
Perfect. And we had talked about this a little bit, that, one of the biggest ones was I was like, okay, I shouldn't pick too many like roles that I was struggling every time that there was like a show I really loved. I was like, oh, I'd really like to be this guy. And so I had to like limit. I only
Hey.
have like 3.
Okay, I was gonna say you can do that, but if you choose a male role and if I choose a female role, then you have to give your disclaimers if you would want the show to be as is, or if you're saying you would want it to be a gender
would I
swapped
gender
version
bend?
of it.
Oh,
Because because that
Oh,
is a thing in the theater that does exist, and they have done, like we've seen
yeah.
Cynthia Erivo play Jesus in Jesus Christ Superstar. It's not in gender bending of the musical itself, but like Lin-Manuel Miranda's concept album Warriors, it has the main cast is a female gang, when the movie and book that's based on it is a male gang. So there is a precedent for some, and like in Operation Mincemeat, some of the characters are played by male, some female. So like and like the different gender roles. So that is a thing. So if you choose it, you're like, would you want to be that role as a female and do some gender bending, or as a male, you're becoming that characteristic? So
Yeah. Okay, that changes it a little bit for me. But my first one is still the same. And I didn't think it was going to be this one until I checked my list again. And I went, because I had one way lower that I was like, no, I need to bring this one up. But then this one I saw, I was like, oh, this has got to stay at number 1, which is I would like to be Hermes from Hades' Tale. But I think I could leave it just as is. I don't think I would change anything like gender bent, because I don't think it really matters. Nothing about his role really like, because like there's plenty of ones where I'm like, okay, this lower down in the list that I think I'm gonna have to move because I've changed my mind. Where I'm like, okay, I think I would swap. I think I would change the genders then. But this one, I think I would keep as is, and I would have so much fun. I would love it.
see, Hades Town is one that I haven't dove into that much yet. I need to, because I'm seeing it in January, and I like to know the stuff before seeing it, like be familiar with the songs. And so I need to. It's on my playlist. I've listened to the album probably through a couple times, but it's always been like when I've been doing other things, so like other distractions. So that'll be something when I'm like driving more. Not that driving isn't a distraction. I do focus on the road when I'm driving as well.
Yeah,
But
which is
there's
smart.
not
Good, good,
as
good,
many
good.
other things pulling my attention. I can focus on the music while driving too. So that's a solid choice. I was
You
worried you
gotta
switch it up because
choose.
you're like, Matt's gonna take this one, and so I need to go first. Um, I when I made my list, I did build a list. I did not order them at all. I'm going off of vibes in the moment, what's going to be my pick. And my
Mm.
first pick though it was the first one I wrote down, and it is, I think, my number one is playing JD in Heathers, because I think that would be just such a fun role to play. He has so many amazing songs in that show, from Freeze Your Brain, like Meant to Be Yours, like the manic energy and just villainy and everything coming through from it, and like him just like his justification, and Our Love Is God, 17, like so many amazing songs in that show. I feel like that would be such a fun role to play, and I love all those songs, and I love the musical. So that's my first one.
That one was the one that was lower on my list that I was like, oh, it's got to move up. It's got to go. So the list is still good, but it's definitely one that like you stole one good one from me, and I think it's exactly for what you said. Just getting that like crazy songs, kind of being able to be like the insane one in the show is kind of fun. You got to have that like manic energy, I think, part.
Yeah.
But that would have been good. That would have been a very fun one. I would have
Yeah.
gender swapped that for me.
Yeah.
I think it would be interesting. I don't know that I've
Yeah.
seen any like that, but and like you said, Freeze Your Brain would probably be one that it would just like it would itch a part of my brain.
Yeah. And I feel like it's interesting too. Like I've seen clips from different performances of the different actors who have played JD over time. Um, like they released recently like a music video of the current cast. So like Lorna Courtney's playing Veronica on off Broadway right now, and I think Casey Likes is JD, and like his portrayal of JD in the Freezer Brain music video, and like his voice and the kind of inflection and way that he sings it is different than others. So like JD, I feel like there have been ones who have done it like a measured, like a more calm sociopath a little bit,
Yeah.
and then others that are just like so much aggression and just off the wall like energy. I think that would be interesting. There's a lot of different fun things you could do with
A
it.
lot of ways you could
So
play with it. I agree.
exactly.
That was a good one, and I'm only a little
Thank
bit
you.
mad about it. My
Well,
number
you still
2
got to make your
draft
points.
pick. I know. My number 2 draft pick was, and I was back and forth on this, but I still think it's a solid pick, is Elle Woods from Legally Blonde. Because I think she just has such a great character arc, and there's so many fun songs in it. I don't know. I think it's such a fun little, I don't, like little more poppy musical,
Yeah.
I was back and forth a little bit, but I think this is a solid number 2 pick for me.
That's good. Legally Blonde's also one that I'm not crazy familiar with, but it is a pretty, like, it's a fun, upbeat musical, and she does have a lot of fun numbers in it, from what I've listened to. So, solid pick. I think my number 2 pick is going to be Jekyll and Hyde from Jekyll and Hyde. The main character, Dr. Henry Jekyll, and he also plays there. I've seen some like regional like theater performances and some newer stagings of it where they have a different actor playing Hyde for the like, because it is like he has different mannerisms and a different voice and way of talking and singing, and so sometimes they will cast a different actor for that. But I wouldn't want to. I want to do it like they did in the original, where it's one person and you are having to portray those different sides and those different personalities. I feel like that would be very fun. It would be very challenging. My caveat, though, is I want it to be the complete works version, not the version of Jekyll and Hyde that's on Broadway, because the complete works version has some of my favorite songs. So it has like Alive, which is reworked, and like bits and pieces of it are put into different songs throughout the Broadway version. But that's like probably my favorite song on there. And The World Has Gone Insane is another one that I love. And that's not in the Broadway version. But the one that does remain is the confrontation song at the end where Jekyll and Hyde are facing off kind of at the climax of the show, and where they're switching back and forth singing to each other. And that I feel like it's fun to sing in the shower. So I would have fun performing that, I think. So that's my second pick.
I think it's solid. That's definitely one that I'm not as familiar with. So you were safe. You had a safe bet. I
Figured.
don't know. I think that we both know this musical pretty well. We've talked about it. Is this what are we at? Third pick?
Third.
Mm-hmm. How did you do 3? Which fingers did you hold up? Some people do it different. That's crazy.
3.
That's a wild way to do it.
I did different.
I feel like
well, isn't that?
This is insane, though.
Yeah, I've never done that, but I think I forget what it is. It's been a long time since I've seen it. There's the like Quentin Tarantino movie. That's how they figure out that the guy is pretending to be a German because he holds up 3 like this, and that's how Americans do it. And they do it, I think, either that or it might have been that they did something. The Germans did something different, and so that's how they figured out that he was a spy because he held up 3 like that.
That's crazy.
And that's not how Germans do it. So I think
so you might be a spy.
3 like that, but with the back of my hand, not the forward. The forward's weird. Forward, I would do that.
The back of your hand? That feels crazy to me. That's like when people flip you off, but like, oh, I feel weird. You know, you do it forward.
Yeah, that's weird. You can't do it that way. You gotta
Have you ever seen that? Oh, that's the funniest way to do it, though. Both forward. It's the best image. It's really good. Oh, I hope my parents don't see that part.
No, I'm going to clip that. That's going to be the thumbnail.
Keep it in. The thumbnail. Okay. Choice number 3. Back to the scene. What we're talking about. Reset. Okay. Choice 3. I live in an apartment. I need to be quieter. I should remember that. Well, her dog barks all the time. This is fine.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Fuck her.
I don't care anymore. She's fine. And the dog threw up in the freaking elevator twice once in one day. So I can't. I hope she's not mad at me. But anyways, not the point. Back to the scene. So what we were talking about was my third draft, which would be Dawn from Waitress. Specific. We've talked about it before. If I could be anything, I would be a soprano, but I am an alto. My voice doesn't go that high, and I can't do it. But when he sees me and I love you like a table, masterpiece. Love, love, love. And I try so hard to sing these parts when it comes on in the car, and I just hope that nobody else can hear it. That would be rough.
What if you do it in a goofy voice? Would that help you get to a higher register? Like if you over exaggerate the accent?
Oh, maybe that would help. Maybe that could be better. Wait, I have a question to take us off track one more time. Just one more time. Only once. Probably the last time.
Dude, do as many as you want. This has been short, and we're on round 3 already. So,
have you ever gotten a noise complaint in where you lived? Because have you lived in apartments? You've never gotten a noise complaint, or you've never lived in apartments?
So I lived at home through first couple years of college. Then I was in an apartment for like 6 months, and then in a duplex. And so I had more like space, and then rented a house, and then bought said house.
Yeah.
So no, I've never gotten a noise complaint.
You haven't had that,
except from parents at home. Sometimes they said
they could probably give you a noise complaint, but it doesn't hurt as much. You know, it's true. Who cares?
I mean, I get some from Catherine, my wife. She will sometimes. She's like, "Why are you being so loud?" But so sometimes
that's fair. And that one you should take to heart.
I say, put in your earplugs. You have them for a reason.
No.
I don't say that.
I'm on her side. Oh, that's so funny. I've definitely had like one for sure noise complaint on myself when I lived in Missouri, and it was really funny. It was specifically, they put it on every one of the doors in the apartment, because I lived in there were 4 apartments on the bottom floor, 4 apartments on the top floor. So they put a sign on every single one of the doors. So I was like, hey, we're getting noise complaints from this building. someone's playing music and singing. And I was like,
And you
oh,
knew
damn.
it was you.
And I had told my friends, I was like, it was definitely me because I was doing that this morning. I was vacuuming, I was singing. I was like,
Mm.
you know what? I should be quieter. My bad. But in my defense, our neighbors upstairs would have like huge fights, 3 a.m., throwing stuff around. Like it was insanity. Like when we would wake up to it and we never said like a single complaint. And it was something where like the vents were so perfect that we could just hear it.
Um,
And I would like lay awake at night. I'd be like, I wonder whose side I'm on. I can't really tell.
yeah,
It
that
was
can
so.
be like free entertainment. Like the throwing stuff is when it
Mm,
gets scary, but
yeah,
just
that was scary.
sometimes hearing other people's fights. Well, I lived in the duplex. There were some interesting things because the duplex across from us, so not the one that we were part of, but there were two that were like facing each other, the
Mm,
doors, and that one was like normal, like people in their 20s that like partied. Like I'm an
mm-hmm.
old man at heart, like I don't go out and do stuff, but like they would come home drunk, they'd be peeing in the driveway. It was
Oh
all
my
sorts
God.
of wild stuff happening.
What
Yeah,
a
yeah,
view that you had. And free entertainment.
yeah, yeah. I'm
That's
like,
good.
oh
Oh,
yeah.
I forgot to. It was so funny. There was like a crazy thing. When I was working at my internship, one of my coworkers moved in right across the hall from me. It was a hot mess where like he was married to a woman and then he cheated with a woman at work. And then that was which was crazy because him and the woman he cheated with and his wife, no, husband, her husband worked there as well. All three of them worked there. It was messy.
Oh,
And so he moved across the hall from me, obviously. And
mhm.
there was like some event that we were at. It wasn't like a work event, but we were at somebody's house. And he goes, yeah, because I got a noise complaint, I guess. And they said I was singing, but I don't even sing. And I did not tell him it was me. I think he got home. I got home. He probably got home the latest. And so he saw there was a paper on his door and no one else's because we all took him inside. And I went,
Nice.
that's none of my business. So sorry.
Yeah.
He won't find
No.
this. I hope. He's got bigger
If
problems.
he does, hey, now he knows. Now he can hold a grudge against you. No,
Maybe.
some of that stuff works wild. Like that is a wild choice. When you work with both parties of the person you are
It's
cheating on.
crazy.
One
Mm-hmm.
of my former jobs, there was like there are multiple people who, when I worked there, they were all married to different people that
Mm-hmm.
did not work there, and they are since now. There's like 6 people from this company who are now divorced and married each other. Like not the 6
I think
people
that's
are married each
crazy.
other. It's not like a group thing, but like there's
No,
like
they're not
3
all
different
married
couples.
to
I'm like,
each other.
that's right,
They're just
yeah.
all on a commune. They live together. They're all married.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm like
They're very happy.
that's wild. And I feel like that is just like, I don't know how you
Sounds
get
horrible.
to that point, where I don't know. That's just so risky. You're like, you know what? I'm going to get divorced and
What
start a
was the work
relationship with someone I
environment for
work with.
this?
It was a pretty casual work environment.
Okay. Because
So,
I was going to say, I was
but it's
working in like
still,
manufacturing. So, like, this is
Mhm.
pretty common.
No, it was pretty casual. There would be like monthly happy hours where they'd open a
Okay.
tab, and there would be groups of people that would all like go to the strip club together or something like that. So, like,
Oh,
I'm
well,
not
that's
too
insane.
surprised it happened.
Saying
Yeah,
pretty
that was
casual is
wild.
crazy.
Yeah,
Very casual.
yeah. And that was
Too
like upper
casual.
management that was like doing that. I'm like, that is
It's
just
insane.
wild. I
Oh
could
my
never.
God.
uh, not. That just seems like you were just
Going
asking for
from
something
that to
bad to
where you
happen.
work now is insane.
It
A
is.
wild transition, but
Now
much
people
calmer.
are discreet about it.
That's
um,
absolutely not happening there. There's no way. I'm imagining the groups, that after the scooter walk, then they had the.
yeah, exactly.
No. So where are we?
Okay.
Draft
Round
pick 3.
3. Round
Round
3.
3.
Did you
That's what
say
we were
your
talking
third
about.
pick? Yes, Dawn. You were Hermes,
Dawn.
then you were.
What did I say? I've
Was it
already lost my
Hermes?
mind.
Was
Hermes, Elle
Dawn's
Woods. Elle Woods.
Elle Woods. Elle Woods was second.
Then
Okay.
Dawn.
And then Dawn. Okay. So it was
Yes.
me for 3. I am going to go with. You got lots of good options. I'm gonna go with Evan Hansen from Dear Evan Hansen, because that musical holds a special place in my heart. And I love so many of the songs from that. Waving Through a Window and Words Fail are my top two. Like, Words Fail is just like, it's gut wrenching and is so powerful. That would be the one I would be most excited to sing. But
Mhm.
For Forever's great. Sincerely Me would be like so much fun to do. There's a lot you have to do in that role. And you are on a roller coaster of emotions. And that is one that I would love to play. Evan Hansen.
I think that's a great choice, but I'm picturing it kind of like how Ben Platt was in the movie, how he was just very obviously not a teenager, and just how
Well, I said
crazy.
that was one of the caveats at the beginning. You would magically have all the attributes and be able to do it.
I'm
So,
just gonna
and if I
imagine it
shave,
just.
I look 14. So I would be
That's
fine.
crazy.
It's true.
That would be a
That's why I
good.
never shave.
I need the photos right now. Photos or it
No,
didn't happen.
you won't see him. Just see him like a giant baby. But yeah.
I think
Okay.
beards are basically the makeup for men, and that's
They
my
are.
personal opinion. Yeah,
And
it's
makeup
my.
can be too. I'm wearing so much
And
blush
what?
right now. Makeup is the makeup for men too. Like, I'm just
Makeup is also the
blushed
makeup for
up.
men.
I'm
That's true.
not. That seems
That's
like too
true.
much work, and I am ultimately lazy. So, because you have to go through the work of putting it on and then the
And then
work of
taking
taking it off. It's awful.
Yeah.
I wash my face in the morning when I shower. That's it.
That's it.
It's
That's all I can
wonderful.
do.
Yeah, it's great.
Men have it easy. They do. I couldn't do it, but it's
I
insane.
use a shampoo and conditioner combo. It's great.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I
Though.
don't have to worry about anything. Okay.
You just put it in, I wash it out. Easy peasy. I'm
Exactly.
like back and forth on what my number 4 will be, but I'm gonna go with my heart. And my heart says that I would be Grover from The Lightning Thief, the Percy Jackson musical.
Okay.
Have you seen it?
I have not. I know what it
Oh,
is, but I have not seen it.
it is kind of fun, I will say. How would I describe? It's very goofy, but not in like a Mean Girls way, where the lyrics are stressful to me. But
I'm rolling my eyes
it's
for
still
people
very
listening.
well. You can, yeah, you can do whatever you need to. I've see, I'm so bad at like you remember songs right off the top of your head, but I forget everything right away. That's why I can't talk extemporaneously.
I put that
But
on here to help me remember the
this
songs that
isn't
I'm
fair at all.
referencing.
I'm
They're
not.
on my
I
list.
can't think that hard. Mine is just literally. It's just real
Wow.
quick to the
Oh,
point.
now I know all
If
your picks.
you know
I
all of
can
them,
read it.
it'll be fine. I think the one that I was really crazy about is when he sings in Killer Quest because it's kind of um their whole travels and he gets to be very funny and silly. Grover does. You've seen Percy Jackson though. You had to have read it.
Nope.
Never read, never
Nope. It
seen.
was after my
What
time.
the
It was too
hell?
old. I know what it is, and they have the new Disney Plus series. Now, Grover, the only Grovers I know are the Grover in Sesame Street and Grover Cleveland, the old dead president. Those are the two Grovers I know. What is this Grover? What does
This
Grover do?
Grover.
Is Grover a
Okay,
human? Is Grover a demigod? Is
he's
Grover like
human
a
in a
fawn
way.
or something?
Human in a way. That's my sibling's favorite joke right now.
That's
Is like we
so
go to
vague.
a restaurant, they go, "Can I order a bomb?
A
Can I have one
bomb?
bomb, please?" You said that, did you not? Is he a bomb? I
A
can't hear anything well.
fawn, the
A
like from
fawn.
Narnia, where it's like half human
My
and then got
headphones
the little
aren't
goat
fabulous.
legs.
He is. He's supposed to be. I thought you said bomb, and I was like, you know what,
Your
bomb?
siblings are gonna get arrested if they
My
go to places asking for
That's their
bombs.
favorite thing is to get us in trouble. But not the point. Grover is supposed to be kind of that half goat, half human kind of deal. He's
Okay.
like Percy's little sidekick. Was how I would describe it.
Okay.
When you see the like little trio, you have Annabeth, which would be the smart, the gal who's
Okay.
keeping everybody together. Percy Jackson, he's got the powers and he's fine, whatever. And then we have
Seems
Grover,
like Harry
who's just the
Potter.
funny little
Annabeth is
sidekick. Oh,
Hermione. Grover is
yeah. So
Ron.
I want to be Ron.
Percy is Harry
I
Potter.
hated
Be wrong.
Harry Potter growing up. I just didn't like it, and I think the English accents were probably what threw me off. I
You
don't
don't
know
like
why.
English accents? English
I
accents are
don't
more of a
really
selling point for
appreciate
me.
it.
Love
No.
Island UK, So good. You could just the name calling and swearing that you can do, it's so much better with an English accent.
But at that point, I think you should just go Australian. That's my personal opinion. I think it's funnier. I think it's better.
I
But
can't
even
differentiate
like if
when I
I'm
do
listening
them.
to like you what?
When I do accents, I can't differentiate. My English and Australian sound the same.
Australian. Yeah. I think even when I like listen to an audiobook, if it's with an English accent, I get ticked off. I don't know what my problem is. It's
Wow,
just a
why do you hate
personal pet peeve.
the UK? Why do you hate English people, Sage?
I don't
Is it because
hate
they have
them. I
bad
think they're
teeth?
fine. I don't
They
know
have
a
bad
single
teeth?
English. That's not true. I think that's not the worst thing about them, I'm sure. Probably their cuisine.
Oh, you think
I
there's
think their
really bad things?
cuisine.
The
The
cuisine, fish
cuisine.
and chips.
They're
You don't
always
like fish
putting
and
beans
chips?
on things.
Bangers and mash. I do agree. A traditional English breakfast is disgusting.
No,
I do not want
I can't do that.
beans and toast and mushrooms for breakfast. Get out of here with that. That is ridiculous.
No.
Sorry
Yeah.
to the
Maybe that's
English
what
listeners.
makes me angry about
No.
them. Every time I hear their voice, I imagine they're eating breakfast. But
Mhm.
so what we were talking about, Percy Jackson.
Yeah, Percy
Jackson.
Jackson. And your hate for the English.
We had to read it in school, and I have a distinct memory of us having to watch the movie. It's called The Lightning Thief, so there's obviously a lot of points where there's like flashing lightning, blah blah blah. There was a fire alarm that went off during the movie, and our teacher didn't realize because it like here's all this flashing and noise, but we're watching the movie. We all just kind of look around. Should we just die? Should we die? We're just gonna watch the movie. She was like, "Oh, is there something going on?" Oh, sweet woman. Oh, she's well. I don't know. Don't know. Oh,
Okay,
what were we at? Draft 4.
I'm going to assume that was a good pick. Good pick. Because it's your truth, pick. And you're supposed to speak your truth. This isn't what you think everyone would want to play. This is what you want to play. So
just me.
I support your
and
choice.
I would keep it. Grover's a boy, so I would keep it as is, though. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
I don't need gender swap.
Okay, my fourth one. I've got too many. I put like 12 down. So I'm good at making lists. I'm bad at editing them. I'm gonna go with Jamie from The Last 5 Years as my fourth one because I love The Last 5 Years. Yes, Jamie is a little bit of a piece of doo-doo. He's not the best. He will gaslight and he will he's a little bit selfish and he does cheat. So maybe not the best dude. However, I really love, even though it's a very gaslighty song, I love If I Didn't Believe in You. I love singing that song with Jeremy Jordan's version, just the passion behind the performance. So good. Love it. And then like Nobody Needs to Know, which is arguably the worst one that he does because it is when he is actively cheating and using the same lyrics that he used on Kathy earlier. So bad, but it's a beautiful song. And a Shmuel song, you get to do that. You have a lot of range with this role too. Shmuel song, very fun. And then like A Miracle Would Happen. This is when he's also being a little bit shitty, but it's a fun song. I like The Last 5 Years. Yes, Jamie, arguably not good. Fun role to play. I don't have to embody the character in real life, just on stage. Yeah. I'm wearing my hat backwards. I have douchebag tendencies.
I have the energy. I'm ready to take it on.
That's right. That's right.
I'm surprised this is your first Jeremy Jordan. Is this your first Jeremy Jordan pick?
It is my first Jeremy Jordan.
That's crazy.
Now, technically,
you held off so long.
In the workshop of Heathers, he was JD during the workshop of Heathers. So
that should count.
You a little bit Jeremy Jordan.
Technically,
but yes.
That's fair. You held off so long.
I did.
That's good. I think it's a good choice. Still crazy because he wrote the musical. Basically, it's about his like divorce, and to keep in the
James Robert Brown.
You know, maybe he's aware that he was that bad.
Yeah, I don't know if it was just he was a blind spot because I've seen some reports that he was like a little bit of a tool. That he's a little bit of a tool, Jason Robert Brown, who wrote it, and so maybe he thought he was gonna come off better than he did. I don't know if it's just ignorance.
On my wife.
Right. But yeah, that's what like she sued him originally
Oh,
because it was too close to like their relationship. And so there was a song about Kathy being like Irish Catholic and a redhead that got cut and reworked in the play because that made it less like his wife. So,
oh my God.
mhm.
That's insane.
Yep. Yep. So that was my fourth pick. So this
I
is your final pick, and then you can do your honorable mentions because I've got like
Thank
7 to
God.
mention. So
I I can't before I can get to my 5. So sorry. I would not shut up if I had a breakup where somebody made a whole musical about it.
mhm.
I would be livid. It would be the only thing. I would be beating a dead horse for the rest of my life, mad about it. I don't
I
know.
would be demanding royalties.
Oh,
I
yeah.
would either do the lawsuit and get the
Mm,
money like a lump sum, or you
yeah.
get royalties. They're like, if it weren't for me,
Mhm.
this would not exist. Pay me. So mhm.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
written songs
Especially
after
when he's the
breakups
one
about
who cheats.
musicals.
Like this is I don't know.
Hmm.
That's crazy. Okay. My 5th pick. What I'm ready
Your final
for.
pick? Hmm.
My final pick. My final pick. I think I'm going to stick with what I which isn't too bad. I said I would be Anastasia from
Mm.
Anastasia. I thought it'd be a
Anya.
very beautiful little. Oh yes, Anya. Same thing. Same thing. But I
Hmm.
think, especially like the last song, which I never remember any titles for anything. I think it's just so. It's every time it comes on, I've got to stop whatever I'm doing and I have to sing her lines.
It's fair.
It's, uh, and it's such a beautiful little story too. I think it's too perfect.
It is. Now, do you prefer the musical or do you prefer the movie?
Mm. No, this is my favorite. I think for if I'm playing Anya, I would be the musical version because if I was in the movie, I would be Rasputin.
That's fair.
Because that would be the
That's
correct
fair.
answer. It's too fun.
That's true. That would be
Oh,
the more
that would
fun
be
role to
good.
play. Hmm. I do enjoy My Petersburg from
Ooh,
Anastasia is one that is
yeah.
on my playlist now that I love. Um, my final pick is very difficult because there are, like I said, I have like 7 others. Um, there are 5 that I'm like, do I want this? Do I want that? Do I want this? But I think I'm going to have to go with um Jonathan Larson and Tick Tick Boom. So
Mm.
I think Tick Tick Boom is like I love Rent, but if I'm looking at like one character's songs, Jonathan Larson songs, partially because it's primarily him singing almost every song, in Tick Tick Boom, just beat anyone else. Like I thought about like Mark or Roger, and they have some great ones here and there and would be fun roles to play, but just Jonathan Larson's like, yeah, you're not doing much like physicality, but there's so many songs like the Therapy is just like so
Mm.
ridiculous and so much fun. 3090 and Louder Than Words are just amazing
Mm.
songs. Johnny Can't Decide is like heartbreaking. Why is extremely
Mhm.
heartbreaking. Um and I could get used I forget the I could get used to you, I think is I don't remember the full title, but like when he's fantasizing when his friend has like the bigger apartment and stuff like that, and when they're fantasizing living there, I think
Mm.
that's a lot of fun. No More um is actually the name of that song, not I Could Get
Mm.
Used To. It's No More, just came to me. um
Mhm.
and so like that road, there's so many songs that I love in that musical, and so that's going to be my final pick, but there
Very
are a
solid.
couple that were
I don't
close.
think you had any gender swap picks, did you?
I
I think
didn't.
you're all. Wow.
Hmm.
What does that say about?
Well, I was going to pick Regina George from Mean Girls, but I was worried you would shame me.
Oh, yeah, maybe. I just, I if I was gonna do Mean Girls, I would be Janice. So I think that's the only
Mm,
reason I would shame you. Janice would be a
that's
better
fair.
option.
That's true. I do love I'd Rather Be Me, but
Mm-hmm.
World
Revenge
Burn
Party.
and Revenge Party is also great. Um, but I don't know. I think I like if you go pair them up like song for song. I think Regina George has some more like the. This is not bad. Janice has more fun songs. Regina George has more like dark songs,
Yeah.
and sometimes that's what I go to.
Very
Like,
powerful songs.
yeah, I didn't pick very many like there's ones that have fun like beats to them, but like Dear Evan Hansen,
Mm,
very serious and kind of dark songs.
yeah.
Jamie, a couple fun ones, but a little
Mm,
more like serious and stuff
mm,
like that. Those are usually the roles. Like even JD, like most of them are fairly
yeah.
serious, and then Psycho at the end. So
Mm,
yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Mm,
So
mm.
I think your honorable mentions or backup list is smaller than mine, so I will let you go first on that.
You've added one to my honorable mentions because talking
Mm,
about Dear Evan Hansen, I think I would put Connor as my like honorable mention
okay.
on there. I think it would be it would be an interesting role,
Hmm.
but I would keep it as is. I think.
Yeah.
You know, I don't need to swap. I don't think I swapped any of them. Did I swap? Maybe
Nope.
JD,
You.
which is fair.
But I
But
technically had that pick, so.
you had it, so that's
Hmm.
out of my hands. Couldn't do anything with it. Would have been on my
Yep.
list.
Nope.
Whatever. My other, um, my only other like written down honorable mention was the Girl Scout from Beetlejuice because I think that would be hilarious. It's another one where I'm
Fun.
just like a quick roll, easy peasy, fun. You know, you get
That's
a
fair.
good song in. Oh, I love it. I was also trying to you what is the man's name on Forgetting Sarah Marshall? Because I only think of him as Marshall
Um.
Erickson because
Yeah.
from How I Met Your Mother. It's just
Oh
Marshall
man.
Erickson. We can just call him
I think
Marshall.
it's
It's fine.
Peter. I think Peter,
Peter.
like Jason Segel's the actor's name, but I think in that
Yes.
he's Peter. Because I remember
Peter. He
Billy being
doesn't
like,
look like a
Peter,
Peter.
no, and like yelling at him. But
That does
yeah,
sound right. That does sound good.
is it
No,
because
that
you
would
want
be a
to do
funny
the
role.
Dracula musical?
Oh yeah.
Is that why you would pick him,
I think
or
so.
were you just? That's one of
I think it's
my
just well, we've already discussed before,
it's
not
very
on the
fun.
podcast. I don't think you've discussed on the podcast that it's technically counts as a musical because the
It
main
does.
character sings what 3 songs,
Yeah.
and I love the movie. I think it's hilarious. I think it's perfect.
Hmm.
So I think that's the only. It gets on the honorable mentions because it shouldn't count, but it's just
It's
so
true.
funny. It's too
It
perfect.
is.
Maybe I wouldn't.
It is
Maybe I wouldn't
Peter,
be Marshall though. Maybe I would be Sarah.
but she doesn't sing at
She
all.
gets to be kind of like a jerk, you know, and that's also it's the
That's
same
true.
as like you wanting to be Jamie, where you're like, you know,
Hmm.
if I must.
Hmm. Yeah, his name is definitely Peter. She's like, Peter, you suck. Peter, you suck. When he writes that song, that's what it is.
You've got it. You got it. You didn't even have to
Go
Google it.
see a psychiatrist. I hate the
Oh yeah.
psychiatrist. Well, go see one anyway. I don't need a
uh,
psychiatrist. You need to go see
uh,
one.
maybe
I'm
for
not
that
going.
and for his like crash outs that he has. You know, it's
Hmm.
so valid. It's so good. I think it'd be a
Yeah.
fun little role. But
Hmm.
those are my
So
only
that
those are my only honorable mentions.
if I ever do karaoke, the Dracula musical is
Oh.
what I would do.
Oh, another one, but I don't remember any of the names
Getting
again.
kind of hard to believe things are going to get better because you can
Could you
just do a
imagine
fun
somebody
voice.
goes up to karaoke and just the whole room dies? Nobody's
Hmm.
talking, and it's just you gotta have your moment.
I've
That would
been
be perfect.
drowning too long. It's so much fun. Um, have you
Oh,
seen Abbott Elementary? Watch
no,
Abbott
I haven't.
Elementary.
I've seen
Okay.
only clips. Sorry.
Okay.
I bet I would love it,
Well,
but I
I've been watching it.
don't
Yeah,
watch
I think
things
you would
as it
like it.
is.
Yep.
Ah.
But there's one scene where the one guy teacher there that's like very like buttoned up and proper and everything like that. They go to a karaoke bar and he goes up to sing and they're expecting like something and then he just starts singing Last Resort by Papa Roach. He just goes, cut my life into pieces. And then everyone's just like shocked. It is hilarious.
Oh
It's one of
god.
my favorite
Oh, that would
clips
be
from
good.
that show. It's great. Highly recommend.
Oh.
Um, but you've been trying to say something for like 2 minutes, and I've just
I can't
interjected
remember
with my singing.
any. No, because I was gonna
Apologies.
struggle. I was then picturing once you started talking about karaoke, I was thinking of the best thing ever, which was one time for a karaoke, I had 2 buddies go up and they sang Man or a Muppet, and then I went, I would love to be the Muppet in the Muppet movie. Counts as it's a musical for sure. Couldn't tell
I
you
know
what the
that
Muppet's
song.
name is. I don't
I've
remember
never seen the
nothing.
movie. which is
What?
shocking because I love Jason
That's
Segel.
insane.
Mhm,
Wow.
mhm.
That's
I've not seen
crazy.
him.
I grew up on
Mhm,
Muppet movies. I love it.
mhm.
I need to know what that Muppet's name is. What is the Muppet? I'm not gonna know it.
Isn't it
I
something
bet
like
it's
Gary? Like it's a very human name, not a Muppet name, isn't it? Or am I
Gary. No,
completely
I
off
think
base?
Gary's his brother. Because the funny thing is, they're brothers, and one is a human and one is a Muppet, and they just don't
Okay.
say anything about it. They're just like, yeah, that's fine. Muppet.
Yeah, I grew up on like some of the Muppets, like Muppets Treasure Island was my go-to. That's why Brad and I
Oh yeah.
reviewed it on here.
Mm.
Yeah, Jason Segel is Gary. I didn't know that, so that's wild. I
He's
pulled Gary
Gary.
out.
Yeah.
Um,
What is the Muppet's name? This is driving me insane. It's not
Scooter?
because there's too many.
Is it
Scooter?
Scooter?
No, I don't think that's
There's a
Scooter.
Scooter. I'm looking at the
There
cast,
is a
but
Scooter.
Walter?
Walter. It's got to be
Is that
Walter.
it?
I think it's Walter. Yeah, that sounds right. I would be Walter. I would be the Muppet in the Manor of Muppet.
There you go.
That is my list.
The
Those are my
Muppet Life.
honorable mentions. I only knew one of the names. I come prepared.
Hey, we got there. We figured it out. Okay. My honorable mentions. I couldn't pick one, so that's why I didn't make it. Dan, Diana, or Gabe from Next to Normal, because I love Next to Normal. Dan is the husband, and I
You
really like
have to
I
pick
Am the One. These are 3 honorable mentions. Each of them. Dan, I really love like I Am the One, I've Been, Who's Crazy, and I'm the One reprise are amazing. With Gabe, I really love I'm Alive, and also I'm the One and I Am the One reprise, Superboy and the Invisible Girl. He's got some great songs in it. And then Diana is just, she has like I Miss the Mountains and so many great songs throughout it as well. So that's 3 of my honorable mentions
That's crazy.
from Next to
There's
Normal.
really only 4 main characters in that, and you just picked
Yeah,
3. You
I
know, well,
know.
yeah,
Well,
basically all of this.
the sisters, a Superboy and the Invisible Girl is really
Everybody
the
but the
only one from
daughter,
hers.
please.
Yeah, everyone but the daughter.
Yeah, forget her.
Yeah, screw her. Judas
Ah.
from Jesus Christ Superstar. Because I love Heaven on Their Minds, and actually like Judas's death is one of my favorite songs in that musical. That whole scene, and at the end when he's singing like the I don't know how to love him, and like Tim Minchin performing that in like the UK like arena tour is amazing. If you haven't watched it, you should, because I absolutely love his performance as Judas. So good. What? You're making a face. You're
I
making a
haven't seen it.
face.
You said you have to see it, and I went, oh,
Well,
my list.
you'll have to watch that when we're done recording. I did have Phantom from Phantom of the Opera. I almost went with that for my 5th pick, just in honor of the podcast name. I felt like I had to, but no, I stuck with my gut and my honest list. But like Music of the Night, Phantom of the Opera, All I Ask of You Reprise. Like the end of All I Ask of You Reprise is amazing, and I love singing that part. The Point of No Return is fantastic. I love that song. And then Down Once More, of course. So Phantom has some great songs. I do have Beetlejuice from Beetlejuice. I think that would be just such a fun role. Like you were like, I feel like I would lose weight every night I'm performing that, because well, one, you have to do cocaine during it. He says it's in the opening song. He says every show he does like a ton of coke. So you have to do that. That's a requirement, and that makes you lose weight. And then like the whole Being Dead thing. So that opening song, so much fun. Say My Name, so much fun. Fright of Their Lives, so much fun. This is a very fun role, and like seeing it live and like him like breaking the fourth wall, kind of interacting with the audience some. A very fun performance. Justin Collette is who I saw on the tour. He is now on Broadway, because on Broadway for a 15-week run, I think, and he's Beetlejuice there. So I think that's really cool. Got to see him on tour, and now he's on Broadway. Same with who I saw playing Christian in Moulin Rouge. He's now playing Christian on Broadway, so that's really cool. I have Odysseus from Epic, has some great songs. Monster, Remember Them, Underworld, Suffering, Odysseus, like great songs. A lot of fun. I have both Elder Price and Elder Cunningham from Book of Mormon. They have so many fun songs. Like I Believe is an amazing song. It is great. I love it. It makes it fun. And You and Me It, But Mostly Me, also very fun. And then for Elder Cunningham, Baptize Me, so much fun. And then I have Christian from Moulin Rouge, because I love the music in that musical. I don't like the movie. Like I don't. I just don't. But the musical, stage musical, like El Tango de Roxanne, like Aaron Fiet's performance of that is fantastic. And the Christian that's on Broadway now, I forget his last name, also fantastic rendition of it. But like the Elephant Love medley has a mashup of so many fun songs, and there's fun costumes and sets. And then, yeah, it's just a very fun role and lots of fun songs. So that completes my list. So like I said, I think I had like 12 total. And if you
Yeah,
break
it's
down the next to
crazy.
normal, I had like 15 total. So, and I had 3 2 days ago. So pulled these out my ass. That's like
We only had one
improv
overlapping
skills.
too.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
And I got it first.
And you
Oh,
stole it.
ha, ha.
That's fine.
I did. Okay, solid draft. Do you have any final closing thoughts or rants or things? Ooh, new segment. So when this airs, it will have been 2 weeks ago. But last night I recorded with Amy, and she listens to the podcast. She works behind the scenes of theaters. I put her on the spot. I said, "What is one complaint or criticism you have about the podcast, or something you would change since you have listened to it as a listener?" So I'm going to put you on the spot and make you say something critical now too.
Something critical about the podcast?
Yeah.
Wow.
The ones you've
I would have
listened
to
to.
think.
Not this one. This one's too close to home still. There
Just
has
the
to be other
podcast in
ones I can't do
general, or
anything
like
about.
any?
Yeah, podcast in general. Or it could be a specific episode. She roasted me for always saying that I have notes and then not referring to my notes and saying things are wrong. I said, that's not because I don't refer to them. It's because I take too many notes and then I cannot find my note. And I don't cut anything out. So you just get the rambling of me trying to find it while I'm frantically scrolling through the notes on my phone.
I think if I had any critical point, it would be because of recency bias, listening to the most recent podcast where you talk about traffic. I side with your wife. I think you should have honked. That is my personal opinion.
I am conflict
don't
avoidant.
honk.
I'm conflict avoidant. I don't honk. And like I said, I don't think they would have been smart enough to figure out what the honk meant. They would have been like, I can't go. Why are you honking? There's cars coming. That's the voice I attributed to them. A little Barney-esque.
Probably true.
But yeah, that's what I said.
That's my only criticism. I just think after a couple seconds, because we're picturing, I already told you about that one light where when it turns green and it's an arrow, everybody needs to haul and just keep moving, because otherwise you're not going to get like 4 cars through it. There are some, it's personal, because anytime that somebody's not moving, I don't honk. I'll only honk if I think there's like danger, but if I was sitting through 2 green lights, I would be honking. I don't know how no one else was honking near you. That is insane.
There was no one else behind me.
There was
no one else only that person in front of me and then me, because it was early enough. And so, like I said, if there would have been a gap, like if there would not have been a steady string of cars, I would have honked. But that's why I didn't, because I'm like, since there's cars, they can't go then. They would have had to go when it was yellow. And I did not trust their ability to use some critical thinking and determine that. That's why I didn't. And also, I'm always like, but what if they have a gun? So like, I'm like, I can wait a little longer and not risk dying. So like,
I don't think about that as much. I feel like I'm so much safer here. When I'm in Missouri, it's much scarier.
But here you can conceal.
It's a lawless state.
Not gay political. Here you can conceal carry without a license.
You're getting political.
Anyone could just be hiding a Glock. You don't know.
I didn't realize you're right. You're right. But I didn't realize that, they're not going. They should have gone like right away, or, right when it turns yellow, go quick.
If you were that first one, as soon as it turns green, you edge into the intersection. Like as soon as that light turns green, even though it's not an arrow, if you were that first one, you get into the intersection. So as soon as there's a gap, you can seize the gap. You seize the gap, you go.
Yeah.
You go.
Wow.
So yes, that's fair.
Common sense ain't
a little bit of a cop-out answer, but that's fair.
No, I don't have any others. What others would I have? Let me brainstorm a little bit.
My voice, I don't like my voice.
I
told you I was going to put you on the spot.
When I listen to the podcast and I bring something up to you and I go, I really like that one documentary you talked about, and you go, I didn't watch it. I don't know. You're just going over your whole list of the ones.
Okay.
How have you not watched every single thing that you recommend? I can't believe it.
Haven't watched like 2 things I've recommended. I bring up like every exciting new things that's coming to streaming in theaters.
I didn't ask for a criticism. You did.
Okay. That is fair. That is fair. Okay. That is okay. Touche. I apologize. Came in hot. Sorry. But yes.
He asked for a criticism immediately.
I did. You're right. Well, yeah, I didn't say I was gonna take it well. I told you I was gonna put you on the spot this episode. No. I need to start compiling my list for what's coming out in November. That episode will already be out as people are listening to this, but I do need to be doing that. I do need to be doing that. So, well, Sage, I think that'll do it for this week's episode. Thank you for joining again.
Thank you.
I'll probably have you back on sometime. For what? I'm not sure. Maybe we'll discuss the Anastasia movie at some point. And then debate things there. So that'll do it for this week's episode. Do you have a sign-off catchphrase that you want to insert into the sign-off, Sage?
I have no catchphrase. No.
Well, okay, you can work on that. You can't come back onto the podcast until you have a catchphrase.
My next catchphrases.
Perfect. We'll do the like 1 word at a time story. That's what the entire next episode you'll be on will just be making a ridiculous story.
I'll build my catchphrase.
Yeah, build your catchphrase. So, well, thank you for those of you who are still watching or listening. As always, throw a like on the video if you're on YouTube. Follow, subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Do it on every platform. Let's boost those numbers. Download the podcast on every platform. Show us some love, and we will keep the amazing content coming. So, thank you all. Have a fantastic week and life, really. And don't forget to go down once more. Later. No, that'd be mean. I was going to say something. I'm not going to be mean. I don't want to be mean.
What was it going to be? Go ahead. No, be mean. Be mean.